Well, hello YouTube, it's Zoe at Hunter Prepsteaders, and we are reporting from the shed again for allotment vlog number 8. I think it's 8. Yes, number 8. It's not going to be a very long one today, really just to keep my diary up for myself. It's been rather a long week. We've had terrible rain, and terrible rain, it's wonderful rain if you're growing, but it's also wonderful rain if you're growing weeds, and I think I'd got on top of the weeds before I left last week, on Friday last week, and I've come back and it's all overgrown. I'll do a little tour at the end because it's mental. I've managed to go through and over some of it, and some of it I'm just a bit like, oh, do you know what, getting a bit more chilled out now. Things have grown up quite big. I'm not so bothered about the a few leaves at the bottom getting eaten, and trying to keep, most of my thing about keeping the weeds down was to just stop hiding places for the old snails and slugs. But everything seems to be doing really well. Last week I moved some cabbages because I put too many in, and I put them under these cloches, I think they're called. I keep calling them clouches, but Mum said, Zoe, they're called cloches, so try and say it properly. So hopefully I'm saying that right. So I put them under those because I didn't have any netting, and I thought they'd died, but we've come up today. It's like a week later, it's the Friday. Come up today and they're doing okay. And I also put in some cauliflowers, which all seem to be doing all right as well, so that's good news. Haven't really had much chance to come up. We had a bereavement in the family this week, so I've been spending some time. We lost my stepfather, and he was a wonderful guy, and he's going to be really sadly missed by all our family, and just really trying to keep an eye on my mum because she was a wonderful, dedicated wife, and he was sick for a long time, but just very sad. I just wanted to mention it and say, had to neglect the allotment for family duties, and then my daughter got sick as well, so I'm running backwards and forwards, and it's really hard because I don't drive, and I've just realised it never really bothered me before, but I have to say, at the age of 48, I think I might have to tackle that mountain. Another thing to learn in my old age, because I really need to be able to get about. So anyway, without further ado, just catch up on everything else. So it's the next Friday now. It's Friday the, what's the date? I probably can't even see it on my watch because I'm blind, haven't got my glasses on. Friday the, I don't know what it is, of June, 2nd maybe of July. Is it the 1st or 2nd? No, the 2nd of July. So we're in a new month. Should be in the middle of summer really now. And today is a beautiful sunny day, but it has really been, it was quite chilly yesterday. Even though it was sunny, it was still quite chilly. We're definitely needing some sun. I've had a small harvest, and I've got some, when we took over the allotment, we discovered some bushes that were fruit bushes, which I got really excited about. I got a couple of red currants, a raspberry, and a couple of gooseberries. But I trimmed them, I got told to trim them all back, and they just looked dead. So I trimmed them all back, and I got very excited when I saw a few on, and I've harvested the gooseberries today. There's about 6 red black currants on one bush, and I'll show you what I got. This is my this is my amazingly massive harvest. Oh look, there's one more in there. Just enough for me, I'm afraid, everybody. So that was my massive harvest of gooseberries, but I'm not really sure how the bushes work, because I know at home I've got a raspberry, and what I've discovered with the raspberry is that the new shoots from this year will have berries on them next year, so I have to trim back the ones that are 2 years old. I've never read that anywhere, but that seems to be how it works, and I think that's what's happening here, because it seems like the shoots that looked young to me that I left, that I didn't trim back, are the ones that actually got gooseberries on them, and all the new ones that are shooting up, because they're big bushes, I'll show you when we have a little walk round at the end, they haven't got anything on them. So I think this year I'm just going to leave them. I'm going to take the ones that I knew had berries on them off, and the rest I'm just going to leave to go bushy. The raspberries going absolutely everywhere, growing all over my daughter's little plot. So that's going to be fun, trying to find a way that I can tie that up and control it. I just definitely didn't take into account how big things are get. Wait till you see the squashes. I don't think I'm going to have any allotment left, so that's going to be very entertaining. So there we go. So anyway, I'm going to quickly now, because I like to do my little nutritious thing, I'm going to talk about my humble little gooseberry here. And they are amazing. If you can get hold of these in the supermarket or something, and just give yourself a little treat with one, or you can put a bush in and grow them. They are so high in vitamin C. I actually use vitamin C powder at home, which is amla powder, and that's an Indian version of the gooseberry, and it's pretty much the same. It is so strong, brilliant for the immune system, really high antioxidants. They're full of the phytonutrients, which are all the vitamin Bs, vitamin B5, vitamin B6, which are just also good for oxidative stress, sorting out your immune system. They are meant to actually curb your appetite. There was a study done on them where when they were given a portion of gooseberries, it turned out people were eating less in their next meal. They had less of an appetite. I don't know if my one portion is. They're on the middle chain with the carbs, where they're about 15 carbs for about 150 grams. So I think my little portion here would be okay on my keto diet, though I haven't eaten a bit too much fruit anyway at the moment, so I've not really been counting. Now you could fit them in if you really wanted to. They're high in dietary fibre, really good for your digestive system, and really low in calories, so they're a wonderful food to eat. They're meant to be really good. The studies have actually been done on them to help like with your brain and keeping the brain young and the cells of the brain, and I think it probably got something to do with the phytonutrients and the vitamin C, and they're really high in copper, which is very good for your blood, and manganese, which is good for your bones. So once again, another really healthy food that you can grow yourself and really tasty. They come in different flavors really. They range from, when you get them, get them and find in here. I think I've got one that's gone like, I mean ours, you can see that one's like gone a reddy colour, and that one's actually ready. Where these they are ready, they've just got a little bit of give on them. These are sort of half and half. I don't know what they taste like yet, but they're usually quite sour. When you cook them in a jam or stuff, even the green ones, they turn pink. They turn a really beautiful pink colour when you cook them for crumbles and things. I think that would be the smallest crumble on earth if I made a crumble. Just going to have them. Just going to sprinkle them a bit of erythritol and try them, because I've got to try everything that I grow on the allotment. So there you go really. That's just a very quick one about the humble gooseberry. I was hoping to do a really nice long video of me picking them, but I've got 5. So there you go. Hopefully next year we'll have a wonderful amount. So thank you for watching so far. I'm going to see you on the other side, as I like to say, and flip it round, and we're just going to have a quick look so you can see how much everything has grown and what I've harvested today. Thank you. Hi, and welcome back to the other side, where I'm just going to do a quick tour and show you, or really for myself, have a look at how everything's coming along. And as you can see, here is what I've harvested today. I've taken off a couple of the artichokes, which I still have no idea what to do with an artichoke. Never tried one, don't know if I like them, which is going to be really great fun. I've got a couple more kohlrabi, which I'll show you got from it, and a few radishes, just a few little radishes. Not a lot there today, and of course my wonderful hoard of gooseberries, which aren't in my beautiful basket, which I absolutely love, my harvest basket. I've got fantasies of me skipping around the allotment, not breaking my neck, and picking lots of veg at the end of the summer. So we'll see how that goes. Might do a video of it. Anyway, so let's have a look round. These are my glass gem corn, and I've got some green beans growing in amongst them. Got some banana shallots, and these are the borlotti beans that are coming up beautifully here, climbing up over this arch, and I've got them coming up the other side, so hopefully they're going to meet in the middle. Had a little bit of black fly, which, as you can see just there, I've just sprayed them all with some stuff in the hope that that will sort itself out. I'll go and have a little look. A couple of strawberries, dahlia on my potting table. I'll have a look at the plums. I think we're going to have some lovely plums this year. We've got loads over here coming up. Probably going to have to start thinning them out a bit. My mum was saying her one in her garden is going to be massive as well this year, so we're going to have plums coming out of our ear rolls. Our little strawberry patch The reason why I put the strawberries here was because literally this was the only bit we had dug when we got given the strawberry plants from another plot. So I just stuck them in here. I'm going to have to completely rethink it. We have got a few strawberries coming up in here, but we're not getting many. And I'm going to have to just move them. I'm going to give them their whole own bay next year and try and get the runners off them. Apples coming up lovely. It's my little flower garden. I've just done a little pathway as well so we can get up to the trees. Courgette on its own little spot. We've got 2 there. Herb garden coming up. Some flowers. Beautiful lily. And this is our pear tree. And these are going to be wonderful as well. These are going to get to about 4 times the size of this eventually and be ready around September, October time. And have a little walk through. I'm going to take you into the poly house. Now I've just brought a load of buckets. I haven't got any compost to fill them with or any gravel to put in the bottom yet, but I'm going to repot all of these because as you can see they're in the grow bags and I don't think they're going to have enough root system in there and they're getting massive. I just didn't realise, and I'm really convinced that I've got these mixed up. I must have labelled them wrong because I labelled these as bell peppers, and as you can see, I'll try and get my finger behind it, there is no way that's a bell pepper. So these 3 in here I thought were bell peppers and these 2 I thought were cayenne peppers, but I'm thinking that maybe I just got them mixed up somehow. I don't even know how. I suppose when you're planting like 4 million seeds in the spring, you don't. Here's my aubergine. I think I'm going to have a few on there. Look at those beautiful flowers. As you can see, everything's, and these are my greenhouse tomatoes, so they're all going to go in buckets next week for a new home, and see if I can make a bit more space and give them more growing capacity. It's lovely in here. I've put these on strings so they can grow up them. Everything here, but I think I'm probably going to do that with these as well when I put them in their buckets, so they've got a little bit more support. But they're going to be wonderful. I'm so excited. I've never grown peppers before in my life. I didn't even think I could. Here are the cabbages which I've survived, probably just the outer leaves, and I'm going to build a movable cage to go over those soon. And these are the cauliflowers in those, but everything they seem pretty happy in there. Try and get a little look in there. And these are, look, I think this guy is going to end up in the borlotti beans. And these are my squashes. I mean, I'm going to have to build something for these to climb up. I'll just get a new couple arches and stick them sort of in here somewhere, something. I don't think I mean, I knew they got big, but seriously, and they're wonderful. We've got flowers on here. There are so many buds and flowers coming up, and all kinds of things growing. So I'm going to be, which is one of my favourite things. I love all kinds of squash. I love spaghetti squash. I love the bonbon squash, which are over here. And I make wonderful soups out of them and store them for the whole year. So it feeds us for the whole year. As you can see, the weeds are wonderful underneath. And we've got runner beans coming up there. Once again, we've had a little bit of black fly, and I've just given it all a spray. Courgettes are surviving, and we're finally getting a couple of little babies on them. I don't know how they survived. They got annihilated by the weather. Got some little marigolds, look like they're going to have flowers on them soon, hopefully to attract those black fly. And there's my corn, which is just wonderful. So chuffed with how everything's growing, but like I say, the weeds are a couple of nasturtiums, and I've got a beautiful little poppy patch at the back. And we've moved the cucumbers. I'm going to go round because they were no good where we built that frame for them. I'm going to just put peas on there. And the corn I shaded. I didn't plan it out very well. Another lesson learned. And they're probably not even going to be any good here. They just don't seem to be growing. But I did move them to try and give them a bit somewhere else to climb. And they're in direct sunlight now. They just don't look... I don't know. They've got little flowers on them. They just seem so tiny. I think they're the same ones I grew last year. And they were massive last year. I just don't know whether it's the weather. Got some bay here. I'm not sure what's going on. I retransplanted these. I think they're surviving. I think they've got some of this is golden beetroot. And then I've got, you know, bok choy. What is it? Look at it. Everything always gets eaten. But the lettuce, there's one sacrifice. I don't really mind because the baby gem lettuce looks wonderful. I weeded this last week, literally last Friday. Look at it. And I've been trimming these up. This is the asparagus, which is still absolutely fine. I mean, it's beautiful and it's strong and it's fluffy and it's happy. I don't know where that one's gone. So, and it's got 3 years to go yet, so it's just keeping on top of these weeds. And go around and have a look at my sunflowers behind my sunflower shade. Because this little flower patch is looking beautiful. I'm trying to get a good angle on them. So that looks really lovely. I'm going to have some flowers on those soon. Loads of them. And the hollyhocks are coming up, which I'm very excited about because they're one of my favourite flowers. That's the trees, fruit trees from the back. And as you can see, the corn and the bean frame from this angle. Took up one row of potatoes last week. We got loads and loads of potatoes. We took one up of each of these other two here. See me pointing. And they just weren't as big, but this end one, they were just the perfect size. I think they were Maris Pipers. I think these ones are shallots, and I can't remember the last one. Tomatoes, these were the little babies a couple of weeks ago, and these are the ones that have been in for ages. And they're massive. And we've got some, try and get a good angle. Some tomatoes growing on there. So they smell amazing. If I could do smell-o-vision. And here's buckets, 89p each in Home Bargains. And drill some holes in the bottom, and they're going to be the new home for everything in the. Well, my husband's already stolen one. Wonderful. And lettuce there. This bay's still don't know what it's doing. I've just left it. I'm getting overwhelmed with it all. The wonderful artichoke, and this is, I've had quite a few radishes out of this. That's where I got my radishes from. And I've got a few beetroot growing, and just random stuff I cleaned it out of weeds mostly. Bloody bindweed, driving me insane. And here is this little boy's bay. His corn's growing lovely. That he just straight away, we planted that straight in from seed. He's got a couple of little sunflowers. There's the gooseberry bushes. Disappointment. I'm disappointed. He's got some. He wanted to buy corn and carrots, because that's all they eat. And he's actually got straight rows, which is a damn sight better than I can do. And he seems to have somehow ended up with the seeds, probably from when we were doing our daughters, of some cornflower. So I'm just going to leave those there as pollinators. Parsnips, bucket of parsnips, purple carrots, orange carrots. But something keeps digging this up. I think there's something might have eaten some of my gooseberries. Whatever that something is, it was netted, so it wasn't a bird. And here's the bushes. You see this one? This is a black currant, it's got nothing on it. And then this one's a black currant, and it's got a couple of black currants in there. But that's really all there is. And then that massive thing at the back is the raspberry, which I never accounted for quite how big that would get. And I have to find a way to tie that up. And this is my daughter's. Look who can grow a sunflower better than anyone else. Look at this bad boy. A little girl's bay. I think we might call her Green Finger Alara, because everything she's put in here is just doing. We didn't think anything would grow. And everything's just coming. She's even going to have her flowers coming up soon on her morning glory. She's going to be so pleased. She hasn't been up here for ages to see them. And her little Sweet Williams in there. I mean, she's got loads of stuff in here. It's just such a pretty little bay. I've completely, like you know, last week, that's what it looks like now on the rhubarb. Still deciding it's going to grow back again. I'm going to trim back those nettles next week and make a plant feed out of them. And there's more of that. And then the last thing is just my brassica cage. And I've stripped most of that back now. As you can see, most of the kohlrabi's gone, which was good because it was overlaid. And I've got some green ones in the front, which will now go have space to grow. My broccoli's growing. At the back there, once again, all too close together, is some sprouts, Brussels sprouts, and got some cabbages and a couple, that's the cabbages at the back. I'm not going in there, it's a nightmare. And that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll just take you up the back so we can actually get a nice view of everything, how everything looks from here, with the shed in the background, our little allotment, and it's coming on nicely. I think I'm just learning to let go a bit now, because I'm obsessed with the weeds and I just can't keep on top of it all. So, but it's coming on really well, and we are getting stuff from there, and it's really nice. So thank you ever so much for watching again. Please like and subscribe, and I'm not even bothered about sharing. And thank you for your time, and see you again next week. Goodbye.